What's good, Eddie? I'm just popping up. I'm up here messing around. I'm like, let me just go live. People want to pop in, they pop in. Give people a place to chat like I normally do. And while I'm messing around with my computer, all my StreamYard, my Canva, I got a lot of stuff all over the place. So I'm gonna clean it out. And I said, let me just go live while I'm up here. It's been a while. Queen 7. But yeah, man, creating all this shit, man. Most of it doesn't see the light of day. And it's crazy. But I need to get rid of some of this stuff. Especially StreamYard. I got a bunch of stuff that banners and media assets I just need to get rid of. So cluttering up my computer. What you got going on, Eddie? How's your studio coming, man? I ain't been on social media like that. And I know you headed in that direction, man. What you got going on, bruh? Show ideas, man. Movie stuff. I got a bunch of shit in here, man. Damn. Gotta clean all this stuff out. Anyway, what y'all got going on, man? Let me know what's up. I don't even know how long I'm gonna be here, but I want to do something later. I think I might come back later, much later. Okay. Okay. You got a minute? I'll put the link in if you wanna just wanna talk to you for a minute. If you got a minute, let me know. You probably you at the gym or something like that? Yeah, a lot of people popping in here. It's probably on the short fee side, because yeah, let me know if you got a minute, Eddie. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just put the link in anyway. What's good, Jeans? I'm gonna put the link in anyway, and then that way, if somebody gonna come up, they can copy. Go to the YouTube. Paste. Boom. And then pin a message. All right, yeah. If you want to, I don't know if the message pinned on the uh on the short fee side, but if you want to hop up, Eddie, go into the regular feed. The message is pinned. Let me see. Does it pin in there? Oh, okay, okay. I hear you, bro. Gotta be fresh. How much you pay for haircuts these days, man? That that shaver, man. I just go over my head, call it a day. I get them new they get the new razors, they come out like I think I got a new one every I think like 6 weeks I get a new one. Barber was killing me. Good morning, Miss T Pre. Good morning, good morning. Hope you are doing well. Hope you had a good night last night. You in the East Coast, so you know it's cold out here. Cold. $50. Oh man, for a cut. $50 for a cut. That hurts. God. Hey, geez, is that including the tip? You saying you paying $50 every time you go, or that's the cut and without the tip? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Appreciate you. Hit the like. I always forget to say that. As crazy as it sounds, that's probably like the hardest thing to get people to do. Hit the like. But yeah, right? It's like, man, I just want to go somewhere warm. But I think Hawaii's expensive, right? But if you got like a remote job and stuff like that, then you could pretty much go anywhere you want. That's the cool thing about working remote. I got a job that I have to, and that's a transferable skill. I probably can go anywhere in the states and apply my skills. But yeah, yeah. The barber's 40, you got 10. Yeah, 10. How often you getting a cut, bruh? How often you getting a cut? Because if you doing, if you one of them ones and you like to get your shit fresh every week, you paying 200 a month on a haircut. I mean, listen, I mean, it is what it is. That's the sign of the times, but it's been a while. Every week or two, right? It depends on how you're looking, or if you're going somewhere. It depends on if you want to put on a hoodie and some jeans and go to a concert, right? Get the fresh cut. That was funny to me, man. Killing my man on his outfit. I'm with you, Gates. I'm with you on that, G Gates. I'm with you, Gates. I put on something I put on something dressy. By the time I get home, I got to take that shit off. Like, get back in my basketball shorts and my slides. But yeah, I just wanted to pop up, man, while I'm cleaning up my computer and my Canva and my StreamYard and yeah, my computer in general. I got a lot of stuff in here that I just don't use. And I got a lot of storage, but because I got the Mac Mini, so I got a good amount of storage. Plus, I got I didn't put it on, but it's I got more storage. I got another drive. This has another terabyte. Yeah, this has another terabyte of storage, but I haven't used it yet. You can't see that. I gotta attach that to, because you can get the Mac Mini with let's see, you can get the Mac Mini with more storage, the bigger ones, the different ones. But I went on Amazon. I found this. I ain't put it on yet, but it attaches to the Mac Mini, and then you put the storage. I put that extra terabyte. So if I want storage, so I got plenty of storage, but it's just like a lot of useless shit that, um, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get rid of. What's up? What's up, Bombay? Appreciate you for stopping in, bruh. Hey, good to see you over here. Good to see you over here. Appreciate you. I'm just chopping it up with the fam. See who doing what. So thank you for stopping in. But the link is there on the regular page, not on the. I don't think I pinned it. Can I pin it in? I don't think I could pin it in. Let me see if I could pin it in. I ain't logged in over there. Go to my channel. Let's go here. See if I could pin it here. Oh, does it let me pin it? I don't know. All right, well, I tried. I pinned it. So I see people come in. Bombay, what you got going on, man? What you got going on this weekend? I know it's cold as hell over here in this side of the world. What you got going on? Hold on for a second. Let me mute. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see. Let me authenticate this. Yeah, it's you. It's you.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning. Good morning, brother. Don't come
What's
in here.
happening, brother?
I need your voice a little more high pitched. You can't just show up here showing me up like that, bro. A little high pitched.
And it comes built in, and also I got the Rode NTK going through the preamp here, so we have it to broadcast settings.
Okay.
At 3,000 watts of clear channel coming to you live from the Brother of Another Color show. Welcome all, welcome one and all to this morning. This is a branch of the Boring Network. If you probably woke up, we're probably going to put you right back to sleep, but it's not like you don't need the rest because you've been ripping and running with this blizzard and the recovery. So, man, what's happening? What's happening?
Sound like you do this professionally, yeah?
Yeah, I need to do it live because I haven't done any installments for the Boring Network for 2026. I may have, but I don't remember, so I'm going to have to, man, it just seems like just coming up with these topics, but it's the Boring Network, so it doesn't have to be anything exciting. So I need to keep that in mind. We're not here to dazzle and razzle, just to, lull you into a sense of trust so that you can receive some of that good information. So lately, I've been seeing I've been popping up on my YouTube about barbershops and barbers, right? And how these barbers, ever since the pandemic, they kind of went psycho and started charging these outrageous prices. And now a lot of the barbershops are struggling to keep their clients. Some of them are charging $100 for a haircut. I thought I heard you mention something about grooming. I didn't hear exactly what you said, but so what's happening is with the higher prices, a lot of brothers are like, instead of once a week, once every 2 weeks, they're like some of them are even once a month, coming into these places. And you hear the barbers screaming like, well, I got this craft and I need to get paid what I'm worth. And it's because of TikTok that is also helping fuel that phenomenon. But now these shops are empty. They're emptying out. Personally, when I get, I have my complaints, well, as far as black business on the whole, being a former business owner, well, I still own a business, but not in that sense. I always felt like I wanted to break all the stereotypes with business. One, excellent customer service. Two, your appointment is on time, which I hear a lot of the sisters talk about. Going to hair salons, appointment at 2 p.m. appointment means she's showing up at 2:45 with a chicken box and a half and half and going to make you wait even longer while she eats. So I always try to, break those stereotypes with businesses. So I notice, like, sometimes when in the city, if I can't get to a barber and I happen to go in the city, yes, I'm going to wait. And I never know what the price is till the end, and it's usually, sometimes it's not the most high quality haircut for what I'm being charged. So, man, I just been venturing out, finding barbershops in the suburbs, and sometimes, got to get the Dominican brothers a shot, to tighten it up, and keep that price reasonable. So yeah, man, I would say to the barbers, man, like I don't mean to hog your whole show, but I saw one time it was a brother. He said he ran into his barber, and he's like, "Hey man, what's going on? Haven't seen you. It's been months." And he said, "What's going on with you?" He said, "Look, man, I'm just gonna be honest with you. You raised your price. And I mean, come on, I have 3 sons, so that's 4 of us." And he said, "I just couldn't afford that anymore." And the barber noticed that he had a drop in people coming in. So he just simply put his price back. I mean, because if you're going to go from, like, some of them one guy said he sat in the chair, when he got up, the price had doubled. Like, dude, you can't do that if that's a regular customer and not tell him before he sits down, "Hey man, look, it's not 35, it's 70. You need to let people know."
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
That's a hell of a markup. So the barber realized, he was like, "Well, I could get more money." This is during pandemic. Everybody, I can get more money. But if you have less clientele, you're literally, if you break even, you're lucky, but just keep your customer base. And if you're going to go up on price, man, just do it in smaller increments,
Yeah.
That's my suggestion.
Well, first of all, I'm jealous of anybody who still has hairlines and hair and stuff like that I can have the audacity to spend $50 to $100 per haircut. So I'm jealous of y'all, but I am on the side of the Freebird. You know what the Freebird is, right?
No, I don't actually.
It's a handheld shaver, and you've seen it. There's the bald dudes. It's a
yeah. With the three heads on it.
Has 4. That's where I'm at. I'm over there. So I spent. I bought this. I had it for a couple of years now, but I spent it's $17 every 6 weeks. I get a new shaver head shipped to me, and
wow,
that's what I use.
Yeah,
and you can pretty much shave your head every day, but I wouldn't. I'm saying I'm a little sensitive too, so I don't shave my head every day. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So the fact that you guys are, hold on, let me see. I gotta acknowledge somebody in here who's when he shows up, he seems to cause a stir. And
speaking of that's the boring god himself.
Hold up, I gotta salute him with the proper music. All right, Godfather.
Hilarious.
Dropping in my chat.
Should have played Rockabye Baby. Drama was the first to put people to sleep. So now we're all doing it. It's a movement. It is a movement, and it's on the rise. Yeah, during the pandemic, man, I actually broke the clippers out and was watching tutorial videos and doing my own hair. I had got halfway decent at it. I'm just too lazy to do it now. But with that three-way mirror, if you got the bathroom mirror, you got the folding, the 2 on the side, the 1 in the middle, and the handheld. Yeah, you learn a little bit of a craft, But like I said, that's pandemic, and I'm at an age now where I don't care anymore. I was listening to Alan Watts talking about that this morning, saying when you get to this age, you move into a different phase of your life where you're really not about impressing people.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's nothing wrong with having pride in your appearance, but you pretty much can be take it or leave it, or I can just wear this hat everywhere I go.
And talk about the freedom of that. Like, talk about the freedom of just being like, you know what? Because
bro, it's exhilarating. It's freedom, and you save a lot of money. I can't believe I was spent so many years of my life like, got to get these shoes, got to do this, got to do that, and I realized, like I said, I said this on my previous shows, I ended up with a whole lot of old clothes in the closet. I remember I had a cabinet full of clothes in my mom's basement, and I watched those clothes, like some of the sneakers come back around in style again. I'm like, damn, I still have like crates of old sneakers and stuff. I got like stuff from old shoes from '02, '03 that still have like the soles like almost new.
Yeah,
But yeah, I realized that it's just, keeping up, man. And I wish I could go back in time and tell myself, say, dude, if you look around, there's certain people that you're calling weird, but these people have these unique styles. They're doing their own thing, and if you notice, people are imitating them, and that's where all your new styles are coming from. You should be that person, not following the herd. And like I said, very expensive,
yeah.
you know.
And, I it also like so just kind of go back to that freedom of it. It also kind of like with everything you 'cause we grow up, especially I don't want to generalize, but especially like men, you grow up to like take everything on your shoulders. If you could take one little thing um, off your shoulders, I think that's an advantage. And one of the main things that we spent a lot of time on, like you said, is how we look and how other people perceive us with what we're wearing. There was a whole conversation, uh, G Gates on Vegas Gates channel. They were talking
Oh yeah, I heard that.
about
Yeah.
the clothes and stuff like that, and it was fun. It's fun and funny and stuff like that. So I enjoyed the conversation, but it did get me back to thinking like I don't I don't put much thought into like what I'm wearing when I go outside the house. And partially is because I really don't give a shit about like if I'm going to and from somewhere, it doesn't really matter what I'm wearing
It
and to who. That's the thing. The to who is the question. To who does it matter?
exactly. Especially if you're a married character. Um, which now with women it works a little differently. I've told my wife for a couple of decades to let herself go, but she won't. That's her choice with the 3-hour morning ritual. Women are going to be women, but they were that discussion was about they were talking about the hoodie. Now it's funny. I watched this one brother. I swear, I wish his channel's probably going to pop up because I'm talking about it. He talks about middle-aged men and all these grooming tips and all these things. And I remember one of his things he said, like, you should never wear a shirt with something written on it, like you're middle-aged, late middle-aged.
Mm,
He was talking about how but first of all, let me preface this by saying I don't think anybody can tell anybody else what to do, but I'm always open to listen. I'm always open to listen. But I guess it really comes down to what are you going for? Like what what is this image like? What are you trying to project? Are you trying to pick up women? Are you're just trying to be a reflection of your career, your stature, you're a very intellectual person and you want to look a certain way. Um Going to a concert, I mean, again, let the artist dress up. That's their job. I'm gonna just be comfortable here. They were talking about the man's hoodie. I thought that was hilarious. But hey, look what your wife has on. I'm like, hey man, if you ever see me and mine together, it's like sometimes it's night and day. I joke with her a lot. I say, "Dan, you going to a job interview? Like we're going to Golden Corral, But hey, look, again, it's not my job to tell her what to do. I'm that guy. I remember recently we went to hit a couple of outlets. I was just like, man, I said I'm gonna get like 20 pair of khakis and like different shades. I know people at work are like blue khakis again. I'm like, dude, I got 8 pair of these, man. You're gonna see them. Like it depends on what the shirt is. And then I said, let me get all these polos, the short sleeve ones, the long sleeve ones. So that's what I did. I'm just like, man, it's easy. I get up in the morning. All I gotta do is I could go to my closet right now with my eyes closed and just pick 2 items and I'm dressed for the day.
yeah.
And the color scheme is gonna work. And guess what? If it don't work, oh well. you know, don't give a F, man. We out the door,
Did you have a good time? Like, you know what I mean? Wherever you doing, was the time good, or are you gonna be
Hey,
in there like, man, this concert is good, but I got this hoodie on, so I can't enjoy myself.
It's about the experiences, and I'll go further on that. Y'all notice, y'all watch Gates, you notice he's in Germany, he's visiting his son, then they're like in some place that's warm, then they're at the concert, then they're in the backyard where he got the fire going. He has a lot of, I call, worldly experiences. Him and his queen, they're out and about, they're doing things. Some people say that's a great quality of life. I'm a little different. I'm more like, I'm the weird guy we're in the old antique stores, like on some route you never heard of. Like we're walking in trails. We're doing like, it's when you get to this point in life, it's all about the experiencing things.
That sounds
now,
like you got to be comfortable to do those things. What you talking about?
Oh, well, that takes the work. That's why for all the young people that are into everything is like high-end cars. Like you listen to music talking about Bugattis and all these high-end cars and the fit. Look at your fit in this like jewelry and I'm not going to say anything against that, because once upon a time we were into that too. But I would say, going back in time, I would have listened to the elders that they tried to tell me, but I wasn't listening. Like when old Mr. Melvin said, you just put $6,000 into a $600 lowrider, a car. You bought that car for $600. He says, at that rate, you will never be successful in life. That's what he told me. And he wasn't lying.
Right.
Basically, you're dumping a bunch of money in something that will not increase in value. And it's only worth the intrinsic value is only what you put in it and to other people in the culture. So I understood that. So I would say to the young people, while you're young, grind hard between 20, sacrifice 20 to 40, of the build up, where you're saving a lot, you're investing a lot, you're grinding, and you have to take your vacations and you got to get your rest and all of that in. But I've had clients who were millionaires. They were like 38, 39 years old. And I'm sitting there on the other end of the phone like, yo, what are you guys doing? They're just like, yo, we maximize all of our investments. We live very frugally. Every so often, when you're choosing a mate, you get these two people that meet up. It's usually what I find is usually one of them is very financially conscious and sound. Usually if that person is the more dominant one in the relationship, basically like, hey man, we're not doing this. You're going to be okay. If neither of you are financially conscious, then it's going to be disaster after disaster. And I have clients like that as well. But then every so often you get these two people. Matter of fact, I had a woman client yesterday. They got married. Her husband passed away in 2019 after 3 years. And she kind of subtly said, well, this is his old account. I mean, he was okay, but she already had some money, which is nice, fellas. There's hope. Yes, you can meet a woman with more money than you that will marry you, and make sure you're okay. So, she was very financially sound. She was too financially sound because I couldn't get her to see things my way, but she made a lot of sense. And we always do what's right for the client. So she said, hey, look, this account here has more protection from a legal standpoint. I fired back. I said, hey, are you a medical doctor? Are you a business owner? She's like, no. I said, you fear a lawsuit? She says, no, but so, I didn't beat it. But the point is that these young people, they had met and they were just pretty much like living not at their means. And I would suggest this to young people, living below your means, meaning they literally maxed out any investment they could within the law. And they lived, at a decent standard of life. And now that they're 37 and 38, their 401ks are like 1.2 million, 1.4 million, so literally they can actually, if they decide by the time they're 50, in their 50s, they could definitely retire, or start a whole nother career at age 40 and just say, you know what, I'm going back to school. I'm going to do a whole nother life. Yeah. And then do that for another 20 years if they want. They have options and choices. And that's what we're saying. Like, you literally, you can put away, for that day, to have a greater quality of life instead of burning it all up now,
I know Lisa J. Stock, she in here, she like Bombay talking that talk because she big on investing and
Said that. Who is this?
Lisa J. Stock.
Oh,
I knew.
stocks. I get it.
Yeah, I know she like. Who's this guy? This spin? Who's spin? She loved that.
Yeah, man. I get off on that. I decided to move somewhere else in the industry, like more on the teaching side of things, because I feel like I'm starting to burn out a little bit. But we see trends like now. I saw towards the end of the year, a lot of people were like pulling money out, and man, and the difference is you get these people, man, they'll say, I need $5,000. I need you to sell this, and that. And I'm like, what are we doing here? And they're like, oh, the holidays. And I'm just in the back of my mind going, the way to do that is save up for the holiday, like put the money away. Like, what are we doing here? But again, you can educate, you can teach, but my whole thing is getting to a point where, like I said, I'm ready to sit down at 62. I'm ready to sit down.
Yeah, I hate you.
We were researching long-term care insurance. That's another thing a lot of people don't think about, because we say, yeah, you gave us all this good advice. You told us to build for the future. You told us to save. Then all of a sudden, here comes a stroke. Here comes cancer. Here comes a car accident. Here comes life just seems to happen. And you got to be ready, man, because now, especially nowadays, any major medical thing will wipe you out, will send you straight into bankruptcy. So we were researching long-term care, and it's it's a little on the expensive side, depending on what you're doing. But like Smokey Robinson said, my mama told me you better shop around, because I was talking to the guy, and he's like talking real fast. He's one of those salesmen. He's like this and this and this and this. All of a sudden he gets to the end and it's just this gargantuan number. And I'm like, bro, say that again. And he's like, this right here. I'm like, what is that again? Say it again. He's like, well, see, this will cover you for Medicaid. This will cover your assets. That way, if Medicaid comes, oh, so you're throwing in another insurance policy that will cover the assets. So, because Medicaid tells you they're going to do a 5-year snapshot and tell you you're going to have to break yourself, fool. They're going to make you give it all up. So he's saying by adding this rider, it'll protect your assets. I'm like, no. Yeah. I just need something that'll cover, maybe $8,000 or $9,000 a month, for rehab or long-term care. I don't need all this, that's a nice commission for you, but yeah, I don't need that, sir.
Yeah. So they got their script, and you know what I'm saying? Like you said, he's talking fast and he tried to add that on, and that's for your protection. Like, yeah, we want to make sure you protect all of that. And
yeah,
but, I think for the most part, when you're talking to people, if you don't say what you do, and say, I know that you're in the financial world. If you don't say what you do, people, whether it be your voice or where you're from or whatever, they're assuming you don't know a lot of this stuff. And so you have a unique viewpoint where you're just shopping. Like when I go to if I go into a mall, I know where I'm going, and I park closest to the spot. I go there, I get that, and then I get back out. Where some people, like you said, like may go into the mall and then start walking around, and then you come out with all this other stuff, and you just happen to be able to go in and pick your groceries or pick your whatever and get out the mall because you're aware of it. And a lot of people, I think, a lot of people are not aware. That's why I was messing with Lisa. She on her channel, and these are her comments. Since you've been talking, here's her comments. Boom, that, after that, after that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
she's on board with it. But a lot of times, some of the questions people are just asking, like, how do you get started? And you'd be amazed at the people at certain ages that don't even know, like, how to even get started. So when you're talking about somebody who is potentially 38 with $1.5 million in a 401k, and the average person, like 60, maybe have like $200,000 in there. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
there are a lot of people that just don't know, and either they're not aware or they're living beyond their means. And I think
when I look at money, I always look at money. I look at it like money and time as a unit. like how physicists say space time. I look at it as like a multidimensional object. So it's time, and then it's the returns, and then it's the principle, the money itself. Like if somebody says, let me borrow $10 till Thursday. I'm like, okay, $10, that's not in my pocket. That's not invested, and it's in your pocket where I'm not making money. Well, what is the return on that? They look at you like, what do you mean return? It's called interest. You're going to pay me more than I get $12 on Thursday. No, look, so check it, right? So what you said about shopping, right? So I think I said this on my channel. We were talking about, inflate, like, of course, when you do the finances in your household, a lot of times your family, they are oblivious. They just know the lights are on, the bills are getting paid, and everything seems to be okay. Well, the wolf was outside the door, then this Mr. Inflation and this new administration and the economy, and things were getting bad. And I started to notice something going on. I said, wait a minute. We're doing the same things. But I always tell folks, I'll say it like this. People, when at the end of the month, first of the month, when you pay all of your bills, look at what's left over in your bank account, right? I call that your rolling balance. That's like, I paid all my bills for the entire month, food, everything's taken care of, and there's $672 in this account. Your rolling balance. Now, if you get to next month and the month after and the month after, and all of a sudden that number turns into $160, something has changed, right? So I always say this is a good parameter to kind of look at things. I call it my bank account barometer. So I started noticing this number is going down, 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 whatever the number was, down, down, down. And all of a sudden I'm going, hey, people, we got to change like a habit. Let's do this. So one minor tweak, I said, let's get off of Amazon, because by the way, Amazon's the devil, meaning, man, how convenient. You could be sitting on the toilet and you just go, oh yeah, I need this. And you click a button. Man, that is the hustle. You're buying things you probably don't need. Now it's like two of them. Oh, it's two of them. Let me get two. And all of a sudden, and like what brother just said, now Walmart, we already know what, look, Amazon's the devil. Walmart is a legion of demons. Because when you go in that store, what are you going there for? I need a pack of razors and some chewing gum. $300 later, there you go at the register.
Hey, you ain't lying, man. You get that Amazon and they tell you they could deliver by between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. that same day. You got to have it, bro.
And they heard everything you said on your phone conversation. They heard Alexa heard everything you said, even though Alexa says she doesn't record you, but your cell phone, me talking on YouTube now. So if I say a product, it's going to pop up somewhere. You notice that. Matter of fact, even your streaming services on your TV, it's like, dude, all I said was my glucose level went up like by 2 points. And then all of a sudden all this, are you suffering with pre-diabetes? And all of a sudden these commercials pop up. They got the commercials now. It's not like old school. So what we did, I said, look, gang, let's do this. Let's shop on one day of the week. Everything that we got to get, let's get it on one day. And let's make sure it's a shopping list, and let's stick to the list. That cuts down impulse shopping. That cuts down, you're in the bathroom and you're clicking buttons and got all these shipments coming out, and right away I saw a reversal of the trend. The numbers started going back up. Now, part of that was inflation. Things were just higher price. So then we have to be more diligent. So I said, look, we're going to go to the wholesale warehouses. We're going to, inflation going up. We gotta flip it the other way. And our quality of life has not changed. It's still the same steak. It's still the same, chicken and stuff you got. It's just a matter of being a better consumer, which, think of it as a war. The advertisers want you to buy more. They're going to make you spend. They're going to listen to you. They have more tools now to engage you. And half the time we're walking around in the fog, so we fall right into the trap. Now, in the old days, they used to tell us what they say, Close-up toothpaste. You remember that, brother? It's got sex appeal. So they really had people, the hell with your teeth, and cavities, right? Who cares? And close-up toothpaste is nothing but like flavored gelatin.
The Doublemint twins, bro.
It's literally close-up is just mouthwash in a gel form, but it has sex appeal. So, back then everybody's, oh, I'm gonna use this toothpaste and I'm at the bar. It's on and crack it. No, man, you can't. Toothpaste don't help you with. Pretty teeth, though. Pretty teeth will get you somewhere, but if that's the case, you need to shop. But they would say stuff like that. They always had us wanting to be like celebrities, wanting us to be with what they call in crowd. So anyway,
that's the thing. No, not anyway, man. This is listen. This is bonus because again, I said I'm gonna just go live while I'm cleaning up my computer. I ain't deleted nothing. I'm talking now, so that's what's up.
Yeah, I had bought out the camera setup and all. I said, man, let me get. Reason I'm not on camera now. I was sitting down here in the robe and got up before anybody. And I decided, I said, let me go back through some old music where I did independent songs and let me remix these things down and master them the right way and add new videos and just redo them. That's what I decided I wanted to work on this year. So, and of course we had I knew the water heater was on its way out, and guess what? Procrastination, y'all. Thing went out. I had like an inch of water. It's all gone. Everything's cleaned up better than it was before. Minor setback, put the new water heater in. Now I got a pan. It's sitting in the pan and I ran a hole. So if this thing leaks 25 years from now, somebody will be lucky because it'll go right to the sump system. So
yeah. No, I mean that's the other thing too. Home ownership, when you have that, you're responsible for all that stuff. So you talked about healthcare, you talked about money for just regular living, and you got to have some other money too, because if you decide to, unless you be like in a what do you call that, where they have the HOAs.
Oh my God.
Like if you're going to be in one of those places where you can, maybe some of that stuff is included in the funding of your living. But if you just have your own house, then this is it. And it's just like a sickness can wipe you out, something that your insurance doesn't cover or whatever, can wipe you out as well. So it's a lot of preparation and a lot of reasons why we should be living below our means, or at least at your means and not above your means.
Yeah, the thing is, like, for instance, the insurance guy, when he was talking about this extra, he said, think of them as riders, extra riders on the policy. And to me, like I said, money always comes with time and returns, of the investment. So I always look at it like, if I'm going to be spending something, that's money that's not growing somewhere for a greater purpose, something I would like to do. So that's why I took issue with that, and I made him revamp it. And then at the end, I said, well, let's research some other companies. The funny thing is, we used to have a discussion here. My wife would say, well, I used to have a whole life policy, and I used to have this, and they have a cash benefit, and I'm of the school. And I hate when people call me on the phone. They say, well, Dave Ramsey. I'm just like, oh my God. I'm more of a Susie Orman fan. I only listen to people with actual. I would tell folks this: if they don't have financial licenses, like, why are you listening to this person on the radio? But anyway, so I don't believe in mixing insurance and investments together. For the simple fact that this insurance company, you're paying this money, they're telling you cash benefit. See, they say things that ring out to people who have less because it says, ooh, it sounds like a great feature. But the thing is, it's cash benefit. The insurance companies are taking your money and they're investing it, and they're making money on your money, and you get this small percentage as a cash, payout or what have you. So my question is, why not keep your own money and invest it yourself and keep it all? That's the thing with that. So I keep the insurance over here and we keep the investments over here. They don't need to be married, Also, we go with term policies. To me, the purpose of insurance, I know everybody have different philosophies. Insurance should be set up in a way, think about it. Let's say you're 35 and you got married. Well, how much insurance do you need? Well, how much does your spouse make and how much are you making? Well, you're both making 50,000. Well, when are you retiring? Okay, you're retiring at 62 and you're what now? 35. Somebody do the math on that. 45, 55 minus 3. What is that? 12 years? I don't know.
35 to 62?
45. I'm sorry. I'm way off. 22 years?
27?
35, 45, 55, and 7. 27 years, right?
Yeah.
So you need, it's early, y'all. I haven't had my Fruity Pebbles. You need 27 times 50. In other words, what we're looking for in insurance, we're looking for, I need enough money that will pay me my spouse's salary all the way up and through retirement. Because if that person is living with you to 62, that money is coming in. So I say, and make it a term policy. A term policy is going to have less of a lower premium, because it's not a whole life policy. It's not all these extra stuff in there. Like I said, keep all that separate. That's just me. And each time you re-up it, like let's say you guys are 35, let's say you make it 10 years. Well, at age 45, you're going to re-up this term policy again, except now it's going to be what I say earlier, what was that, 27? Now it's 17 years times your salary. And your salary may have changed, so adjust for the math. And you'll get to the point where now, guess what? 55. Now you re-up it again. You're only 7 years out. And then, of course, when you're 62, you could do a 5-year from there. And when you're 62, you don't need it because why? You're 62 years old. What do you need life insurance for at this point? You've built up your savings. Your retirement is fully funded if you've done that. And you might have a little money for burial. So you don't need to carry that for the rest of your life and keep paying people.
Yeah, I think I probably I would, unless I had I'd have to have a couple of million, but I would like to, because the fact is we're not going to be here, so I would like to send some back, send the next generation a nice, lofty, including whether it be retirement, life insurance, like all of that. I would like to send them all of that. But I hadn't thought about the fact that like once I got enough for burial, why am I paying into something if I'm not paying into it for these to pay for a spouse's salary for the next whatever, right? If I'm not trying to replace a spouse, thank you, a spouse's income after 62 years old, like what am I paying into that? And could I be putting it in the market or something else, somewhere else that was making me actually making money? So no, that's a good way.
Let's look at it. Let's look at what you said. I like what you said. You said, I want to leave, like basically a legacy fund for the kids and things like that. Well, in real life, right? Let's go back. We're not 35. Now we're 25. We're fresh out of college getting married. We don't even have kids yet, right? So once these children start coming, well, one, we're going to need some money for their education. We can open 529 accounts where we can build money for education as long as they're using it for that purpose. Is not federally taxed. So that we can do for that education. But again, what about the wealth? What about what we're leaving? See, the thing is too, our kids are the seeds. If you're 25, man, we should be pouring into these children where when they graduate, when they grow up and graduate, they're doing better than us. At least that was my goal. Like all of my kids have more education than I did. So that was my goal. So they're okay in that aspect. But I get what you're saying. Like, okay, well, let's look at that. Well, what if, I'm just saying, I'm using raw numbers. What if the whole life policy was $100 and the term policy life insurance was $50? Well, why don't we just take the other 50 and invest it somewhere else? Into a brokerage account maybe, and we just start building this nest egg. And then that could be something we could use for legacy 40 years in the future. Now we have we put it into a trust. We have that for our grandkids. But you know what, though? I always look at this, too. Like, again, you and your wife, you're 25. What are you going to be doing you said you want to retire at 62. What are you going to be doing? And how much is it going to cost? for you guys to live your lifestyle. You can go on irs.gov and pull up a quick calculator for Social Security if you want to get a ballpark of what you're going to be getting. Let's say you and the wife decide, well, we want to travel twice a year internationally at 62, and we want to buy an RV. We don't plan on having a mortgage at that point. We're getting a 15-year mortgage, and we're going to use this RV and drive around the country. Well, how much is that going to cost monthly? We figure about $5,000. Oh, so you need $5,000 of income. Well, what do you project you're going to be getting from Social Security at 62? Oh, we're going to be getting $2,000 each. Oh, well, we just need another $1,000. So what do we have in our 401ks? Well, by my projection, I'm looking at how much we're putting in. We're going to have about 1.2 million each. Oh, so you're going to have $2.4 million. And if you draw that down, I don't have a calculator with me. Let's say you're just going to take off you're going to convert it into a conservative portfolio yielding about 5%, but you're only going to take out 4% off the 2.4. Guess what? You're over your goal. You're overshooting your goal. So you're going to have plenty left. So guess what? When you in your 80s and 90s and you and your spouse pass on to glory, whatever became of that 2.4 million that you were living off of, you give that to your grandkids. So you don't need the life insurance to pay for that. If you have a fully funded retirement that's paying you, you can just leave that nest egg and put that as part of your trust and give that to your grandkids. Now they're starting out life with, they've got houses already and they're not even out of college, so that's that generational wealth piece there. Or you can carry the insurance. But like I said, I always look at it like, if I got this insurance for 40 years, do I need the whole life, or can I just take this other 50 and, maybe put that into my kids' 529s for their education? And then I'll just give my nest egg to the grandkids when I don't need it anymore. I've lived a life. I was getting $6,250 a month in retirement. We drove all over the country. We saw the world. And now we're getting ready to go on to glory. So boom, But unfortunately, y'all, that's very much possible. But a lot of us are not at that point. But we could be here all day like, well, what happens if I just got married and I'm 42 and we just starting at zero? That's a whole nother conversation. But
right.
Yeah, man, I don't know. It just goes on and on. It goes on. At this point, y'all, I'm doing something called hyper saving because, again, when you have several children, it gets expensive, and they want to go to school and it's private school. So guess what? Maybe over the years, we didn't have a whole lot to put into investments because we made sure the kids were good. And now they're good. Like I said, here's just one left. Last year, college, man, it's been a journey. But hey, they're going to all be okay. And that's what it's worth. So, if it gets really bad, we should have at least 6 different houses we can live in
right.
for free.
Now, I'm gonna step out for a second, but DC, are you able to look at the comments at all, Doc?
I'm at a weird angle. I can see. I have 2 monitors, so I can see the screen. Hold on.
Okay, because DC was running some stuff. He was asking some questions. So
I've been taught to have nothing in my name, hide everything in LLCs and the trust. Therefore, if I get sued, they can't get blood from a.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, 401ks have greater protection in legal matters. They'll pretty much shield you from almost anything. So if your money's in a 401k in your name, the only thing it won't stop is what we call a qualified domestic relations order, meaning you got divorced and that 401k is now part of the divorce settlement, which means depending on what state you in, half of that's going to her and there's nothing you can do. I was working one time, it was with this ex-wife of a CEO of Exxon, and Mr. Exxon, he decided he was going to take his account and he was going to create this individual account and basically says, oh, well, this is what you can work with. Like, hey, I'm going to put $1.5 million right here and you and your lawyer can deal. Nope. Sir, we need to see it all. The judge said, we need to see it all. He tried. I think it would have been better if he would have just pulled her to the side and say, how much do you want? She probably would have opted for less. So they told him, no, not only is she keeping that whole account, but we need to see everything. So there's no hiding, his brokerage accounts and such. And I don't, and if there are bank records, apparently this money had to move in some way, shape, or form, But as far as lawsuits, 401ks are probably the best route to go. Like I said, if you're a doctor, a business owner, you're in some type of business where, you're possibly going to face lawsuits, then definitely a 401k, you would leave it there. IRAs are a little bit more susceptible to lawsuits, along with brokerage accounts. And of course, bank accounts. That's the first place they're going to look. But I mean, how often does one get, the average person, we're not really getting sued a lot, in life. I'm suing somebody now, but I did sue somebody, but that talk about blood from a stone. This guy, literally everything he does is off the books, him and his girlfriend. But see, there's a downside to that. Being off the books, nothing in my name means also I have no credit. I can't really move and shake, and then there's a risk, an inherent risk with that. There was a guy here, one of my friends I used to do business with, he owned the dealership, and he decided, like, I'm putting my mansion in my girlfriend's name and all of this and that. And then one day she just said, yo, I ain't really feeling you no more. This $1.4 million home or whatever, I'm keeping that. And kept his cat too. Come on, that's how you gonna keep the man's pet? Yeah, so eventually he, I don't know, he went into a depression. He unalived himself. It was sad. So I don't know, but definitely, I don't know about business entities and things like that. I don't know, like Keeper says, LLC still leaves you open to other assets to be affected. On the legal side of things, I don't know. I always tell people hope for the best, because every time there's a financial issue, like go back from 2008 to the presidency, one of them I'm going to name 45, and the pandemic. I had a client call me talking about, oh my God, I need to get all my money out. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. The Bible said it's the last days. First thing, let me explain something to you. If you wake up and you look outside and it's actual Armageddon is actually taking place, digital money is not going to help you. By this time, the internet's probably gone, so that's not going to work. Also, if you're walking around with paper money after a government collapse, probably isn't going to help you much. But the one thing I asked the guy was this. I said, so Armageddon? Yeah, brother, it's the end of the days. I got to get my money out. It's the pandemic. So I said, when is it happening? What date? And it was like this long silence. And I said, well, what did the book say? Now I can't really talk religion at work, but I said, what does the book say? Well, no man knoweth the hour. I said, so that could be 2 weeks from now or 20 years from now. He said, yep, it could be. I said, well, how about this, brother? How about we plan for your retirement? And if Armageddon happens to be 50 years in the future, who cares? You'll be dead and gone. Or if it does happen in 2 months, oh, well, we took a shot. Sometimes you get people that are eccentric like that. Everybody, they swear every time there's a new president, there's always somebody on the phone talking about it's the end of all things. Every time. People, that's unfortunately, we had an actual president who happened to be a conspiracy theorist. Like, I won that last election. And now a lot of us are walking around. We went from believing in facts. We went from mathematics and science into nothing but conspiracies and what the internet says. So they've literally dumbed us down. See George Orwell, 1984, great novel. They've dumbed us down to the point where it's just like, if the internet didn't say it, well, nowadays they've bought up all the major media outlets. That's why all of this outrageous stuff that's happening with these files and everything, no, they're not even talking about it, and then this one distraction after another, man, it's really bad. So I think I appreciate being a part of the Boring Network. or the boring sector, that's what we're calling it. It's on the rise. It's more of us than it is anybody as far as content creators in this boring sector. So brother is in it, Mrs. Murph definitely been holding it down. She's taking a break. Valentine's Day, her and Eddie is stepping out. So brother's here. I'm gonna have to drop a show this weekend, and these are just like adult topics. We talk slow. We talk monotone. We don't yell and scream. We don't talk about any particular sector of BlackTube you may belong to, because we done already been there, done that, and beat that dead horse. And now these are just adults wanting to have adult topics. Josephine is also part of the Boring Network as well.
Speaking of shows, like I because I dip in with the AI, and I went in I fed into ChatGPT, like, what do I need to, here's what my goals are this year for, my channel and blah, blah, blah. I would, go look at my YouTube channel and tell me, man, ChatGPT told me I need to be doing 4 live streams a week, from 60 to 90 minutes per. And I just was like, yeah, I ain't been even close to like tapping into, like, if I had goals, because I want to be more goal oriented. I just don't want to just show up on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like we talked about you mentioned your time, and although I like to have fun and I like to just chat, I believe we should be connecting with people all over the world. I think that's probably one of the coolest things that the internet and search engines and Google and all this stuff has provided us. But also too, with your time, like, I don't want to just be showing up. So that's why I fed it in there. And yeah, it just basically told me, you ain't doing shit. Like you trying to grow your channel, here's what you can do. And that just made me realize, yeah, doing once a month or once every 6 weeks a live stream, it's not good. It's not going to accomplish what I actually want to accomplish. So,
man, maybe you can help me. Well, first of all, you tapped on AI, right? Everybody know I have a lot. Let me tell you my opinion. I'm really starting to hate AI, and look, not because of the AI itself, right? I'm starting to hate the AI because now YouTube is becoming saturated with videos that are 130% pure AI. It's like the voiceover is AI. And I'm not hating just because I'm a voice actor, but yes, the voiceover is AI, the visuals are AI. The people aren't real, the script is AI, everything's 100%. And I believe that AI is a great tool to use for enhancing your own talent. Like, when I do music production, I have effects that are AI driven. AI will make suggestions to maybe this frequency. I'm like, yeah, I hear you, robot, but that don't sound right. But thank you. I use the AI to create the videos from the work that I produce and it saves a ton of time with video production. And it's a lot more aesthetically pleasing. But I think that, some of the stuff we're doing is just like, it's no soul in it because it's all 100%. I was looking at a channel and it was some strange topic, and I'm watching it and I'm going, okay, this is halfway interesting. And then after a while, I said, something isn't right. And somebody in the comments said, yo, that's AI. And I'm like, so I looked closer and I said, she's blinking upside down. Like her eyelids are coming from the bottom going up. You know what I mean? And I said, oh my God. I'm like, yo, so I hope that whoever wrote it, they at least wrote the script. I believe so, because it was a very personal topic. So I don't have a problem with that. If you like, you wanted to, maybe you would just want to be anonymous. You want to share something about, hey, what it's like to be an ex-drug user and how you overcame and went through the journey, and you might how to deal with your family, and you want to put this stuff together and you write out these scripts, and then you decided to feed it into AI. Say, hey, can you produce this for me? Because I don't want to be on camera. I'm good with that. I'm just not a big fan of 100% AI. Like, the AI wrote it, the AI produced it, the AI edited it, the AI created the content, the AI. So basically AI is just doing everything,
right.
into music as well. You know, I'm going to be biased, but yes, I believe it's a great tool. You know, it's like a calculator when we were in school. It's like, remember calculators weren't allowed in school.
Yeah, now you can use them.
Yeah, they said, and when you did math, you had to show the work on the paper. Like, you know, so the calculator then was just a tool, like to shortcut things. It was not meant to be a replacement, because they said we would forget how to do math if we depended on everything. So I'm with that, man. Like I said, funny thing is I just did an AI video like 40 minutes ago. But again, I did a remix of something that I produced, and I wrote down a couple of paragraphs of what I wanted, and the AI is going to help me create the graphics, and so be it. You know?
Yeah, like an assistant. You got an assistant, a free, or depending on what, if you have like a paid prescription, you have an assistant. And I listen, I'm here for all of it. I just me personally at this point, because I don't have the time to well, let me not say I don't have the time. I haven't made the time to learn how to use it more effectively. If I just used it for like making caricatures of myself, and in that case, you just feed your image into it.
Yeah,
it can take it and you can make it cartoon. You can make it 19th century. You can make whatever you want based off of your features, and so that's pretty much what I use it. And I use it for like, if I want to, I will create something for, like, for instance, if I was going to do a show on, well, I'm doing something. I didn't live stream yet, but I want to encourage, especially as we get older, to remember for us to have fun. So that's probably maybe one of my next shows, just to remind us to have fun. So I give it my 10 ideas of having fun, feed it to the chat GPT, and then they go. So we actually have a conversation about, what I want to do. But I usually will I usually take 10 to 20 prompts or 10 to 20 ideas and go back and forth with it, and they'll give me an idea. So I do use it, but ultimately, especially if you're doing it live, I like today. I didn't know what I was getting today, but guess what? I got actually a financial piece in this particular chat that I can turn into some more content that I didn't plan. So even if I plan whatever, once I got to having a conversation with you, you can create other things. So I like the AI. I like to get the help, but I don't want to replace the human element of it. Like, this was not planned. This conversation was not planned. You showed up in the chat. I put the link in there. You popped up, and we just went. So I don't want to replace that part of it. So I think there's something to be said about that part of it. And so I don't want it to be robotic, where I just, all right, I got 10 points I want to hit, and I'm not going to veer. And if you say something interesting, I won't dive into it. I'll just go next point, and my next number 4 or number 5, number 6. You just said something at number 2 that we could talk about for another hour. Let's go there. And I might not get to 3 to 10, because at number 2, you broke open the mold, and now we're going to talk about number 2 for the next hour, and then I'll get off the show. You know what I'm saying? So I like that aspect of it.
I'm trying to figure out how to get started. Like, you just gave me an idea. You said something about prompts, and then something about show ideas. Now, see, I would do that with AI. I don't even know how to work the whole chat GPT thing, but I would like to figure out, hey, scan the internet and tell me, I would maybe write some stuff about myself, like my background, and feed it and say, hey, now tell me, based on what's on the internet, what is most popular that aligns with my personality, and what out of the alignments, what is the least produced show on the internet? That way I could hone in on, this is what you're good at, and this is what is popular, but a lot of people aren't doing it. And then that would kind of zero me in on to a show idea. Because although this is the boring network, every time I go to turn the mic on, I just go, or start writing down some ideas, I just go, that's just politics. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. Everybody's talking about that. Everybody. And I just kind of talk myself out of it.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go in ChatGPT and take a look. And what is your? I want to make sure I put the right thing in here for your channel. So I'm gonna do something real quick. Where you at? Where's your last? Can't find. I can copy and paste it. I want to make sure I got the right name.
LV had he was talking about the technique that he uses for creating bullet points. You know, I'm good with the presentation. If I had the outline, I could roll because I could talk forever. So yeah, and I have a lot of weird ideas, but you know, sometimes I find maybe just talking about common sense topics, I find a lot of people like to do. They say, I was thinking that too, you know, type of deal. Instead of just going with the usual. A lot of YouTube is clickbait. I'm seeing now, even the political people, they say, oh, judge hands administration bombshell. And then you click on it and it's just like, the judge said he's thinking about signing off on something. Then it's 30 minutes of them just yiggity yak. And I find that to be draining. I'm like, look, wake me up when it's over. Like, wake me up after the midterms. Okay. So you guys are going to win. What are you going to do? What's the first thing you're going to do? I want to hear about the downside of it. I don't want to keep, this man's going to do something every day. If there was a filter I could put on my phone and say, anytime his name is mentioned, just delete it, like block it out. I don't want to hear it because I already know what it's about, you know, and I want to know, gas prices, the price of food. I'm just like affordability. Yeah, I'm on things like that, you know. So
right, so here's what I did. So I put in, go to TMK Media on YouTube channel. Give me an idea for a live show with him. So your channel gives me for their channel related topic. Their YouTube content centers around creative audio, music, content, and media projects across genres.
Ooh.
So they gave me this idea of the show title would be Behind the Lens, the hustle of building a media brand. The concept is conversation-based live stream where you and TMK Media break down how creators turn passion into media business, real behind the scenes of production, streaming, and event coverage, advice for small creators to grow. It's a live format for 60 to 75 minutes. Segment 1 is origin stories. I'm not going to go into all of what it says. Segment 2 is the real work behind media production. Segment 3 is a creator survival guide. Segment 4, rapid fire creator questions. Segment 5, audience Q&A for 10 minutes. And then it says why this collaboration works. Both channels are creator focused, educational, entertaining, cross audience growth, evergreen content, easy chemistry, conversation format. So this is why our collaboration works. And then it says extra angle to make it stand out, live critique of viewer content. So we can add that, live brainstorming sessions, and build a show live segment where we both create a show concept on the spot. So like if you can take this and, you know, just with those things and make it yours. You know what I'm saying? You don't, I wouldn't do it verbatim. I would take out the things that I like or that, you know, we would collab and go, okay, well, we could do this. We won't do that. And format it and make it our own. And then our personality, you know, actually the live interaction would take that prompt and then make it into a show. And that's a 60-minute to 75-minute show based on their idea. But that could be a 3-part series of, you know, 3 60-minute. Wow. You know what I'm saying? You could just do, so if you put the prompt in there, it will give you an ideas, and then you could just mess around with the prompt. If it's not specific enough, you can say, well, I don't really touch on politics, leave politics out. Then or I don't want to talk about what's going on I don't want to talk about current events. I just want to talk about music, current events musically. You just, you know, and then they'll just give you an ideas, and you're creative enough to go live and then make that into your own thing. So, I mean,
you know what? Just listening to you, that was inspirational because what I'm gathering from that, and you wrote it talking about collaborations. I think I'm better collaborating than just doing it. And I can do it by myself, but I find the conversational, the back and forth works better for me. Maybe us people, I think we talked about this before in the Boring Network. We need to get together and just kind of maybe get an email chain going and start planning on, doing some shows in advance, maybe some collabs, like how me and you are talking here. This could have been an actual planned show. It could be something for the future.
Yeah.
I can do something on my channel, have people come through. Mrs. Murph she did a real good topic the other day. Unfortunately, she was not able to go live on the weekend where we all could have just jumped up there. And she says, hey guys, I'm gonna be on. You'll probably be working.
Yeah.
It was an hour long. So great topic, but like we weren't there for the panel. But imagine if we used the topic like that and planned it, in advance. It would be like 4 or 5 of us there, what have you.
That was something that really got me. Maybe she'll revisit it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She did have something where somebody passed away, so then she was being there for them, so she couldn't do the Sunday show.
Yeah.
She was doing Monday. But I think and it's okay to revisit some of the stuff anyway. And you can do that. You could take that show and do it on your channel, and she's not gonna, you know what I'm saying? She's not gonna mind that you say, hey, I want to build on that show that you had. And the other thing too, we all, like, I'm in different places, so I have a slightly different audience. And I notice when I go to your chat, there are people that I've never heard of. So you have I would say we have about 30 of the same people.
Yeah, and I want to get back to that too. Those people, like you mentioned, the people you haven't heard of, these are people from the conscious sector, from the Black sector, from that I was in association with before all of this stuff here. And a lot of times they're just in the clouds because they don't understand when we say sector, they don't know what that is. And I don't want to, I definitely don't want to do that this year with sector stuff. I'd rather go to somebody else's channel where they're doing it and I can just tune in, trying to get some different things going here. But I'm gonna get ready to I got to get ready to go. I started working on the project, but got to get the day started. I beat myself up last weekend because I didn't. Just trying to get out here, do the supply run real quick and get back in here to do whatever's going on. We didn't get any more snow, so that's a good thing. I didn't see any outside, so definitely a good thing.
Yeah,
man, we gotta get together, man, and start planning some stuff. I know Drama does. I don't know what is Drama doing. Still sports.
Yeah, he has a couple channels, but he does sports and politics. He usually does a mixture of sports and politics. Like he do like 3 different. He'll do like sports. He'll do like current events, and he'll do politics.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's usually but he also allows, like, if you get up on the panel and you talking about something, he allows the conversation to go where it goes.
Nice.
So he's and I understand why he wants to kind of just stay kind of away and things like that. So but yeah, I'm for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm in other places and they routinely have 5 to 10 people panels and they have discussions routinely.
Yeah.
We have enough personalities and enough perspectives and enough different points of views that we can make anything that we talk about interesting. So I'm all for it. I'm definitely going to be there to support that. And again, AI has told me I need to step it up. So I'm looking to, I'm looking to do it.
Yeah. I got to look into that. I'm all, yeah. What is it? What is that? Is that the GPT thing?
Yeah. It's just chat.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. I got to check that out.
And once you start messing with it, it gets to know you. And so all you really have to do is tell it to go look at your channel and give you an idea of something that you haven't talked about or something that you could talk about or something that, in the future, what I'm saying, based off of and whatever you put in, it'll give you an idea. And then, like I said, you could just go back and forth with it. You don't have to take that idea and run with it. You just say, let me play with it a little bit. Let me talk to it a little bit. Let me prod a little bit. You know what I'm saying, like you would a normal, like you would a normal person, a human being, and get your ideas. And then once after you've searched, I probably had about 30 searches over the last couple of years. Once you've searched, it will, all you then would have to do is just come in and say, hey, I'm gonna do a live stream on Thursday. I'm gonna talk about you know, shoes. Can you give me 10 10 points on shoes? It'll go look at, it'll base it off of your search history, it'll base it off of your YouTube channel and your personality. It kind of gets a little bit of that based off of your search
Oh,
history.
nice.
Then it'll say, okay, here's what you possibly could do. And then, like I said, just go back and forth with it.
All right. Well, I appreciate that tip. I'm gonna check it out, man. I'm gonna get going. Thank you for having me and letting me babble
Nah,
in a very boring fashion. And you know, hopefully we put a few people back to sleep. And look forward to the next encounter. I'm gonna try to get something on this weekend.
all right, perfect, perfect. All right, man. Appreciate
All
you.
right.
Hey, man, gave me shit. Gave me an extra hour. I was like,
Oh,
if I
cool.
get 25 minutes, I'll be good. But shit,
Yeah.
I even turned the mic off and left you up here.
Oh,
So,
that's cool. Yeah, I can definitely babble with the best of them. All right, bro. Appreciate it. About to get going. I'm about to break east.
all right, peace. Thank you. All right, the link is in the chat if anybody want to pop up. I'm gonna probably be on for like another. It's 9:57 now. Give it like 3 minutes. I'll make it to an even 10 o'clock, and then I'm gonna be out if nobody pops up. Oh man, I know all us on this East Coast is tired of this. Even though we get these 4 seasons, we tired of this cold. It's supposed to today's supposed to be. It's saying like today, going into tonight, it's supposed to be like below 10. It's gonna feel like below 10 out there. So hopefully everybody is warm and safe. And I would say check your local. They have those a lot in a lot of cities. They have those places where people can stay warm. So if you know anybody that's struggling or anybody that needs to stay warm, man. Yeah, yeah, me too. Sick of this too. We ready to Hawaii. Get Mr. Lanier on the phone and see if we can he can give us some housing recommendations. Mm. Oh man. -9 Celsius. What is that? That's right. Canada is like the UK. Y'all use the what is that? What's the system? What is it? What do y'all use? What does UK use? Measurements. I guess y'all use metric, imperial hybrid. Okay, all right. I could be wrong. Yeah, come on, Miss D. Come on. Y'all use a metric. Okay, metric system. Oh shoot, my bad. I didn't see you there. You said you're back. I'm like, you're back. Did you leave? But you in the back. What's
Hello,
good?
hello, brother. What's
How
up?
you
What's
doing?
up? What's
I'm
up?
good. I'm good. How you doing? I tried to finish because I fell asleep. I tried to finish the show, but it said it had some like it was like saying that some not copywritten, but like some whatever y'all might have been watching blocked the show from me being able to finish it.
Oh, yeah. Maybe because of the stuff we were watching. Like, and then it went I think he has to like cut some of that out, but yeah, yeah, man. I think I was up all night too after that. I was like, what? But yeah, you missed the drama.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, maybe I'm glad I went to sleep.
Yeah, yeah, you did. It was me, identity held, and our favorite uh apple juicer drinker. And the weird part is he started off like okay, and then when identity got up there, they started talking, and then it just went left
And I did,
a
yeah.
little bit.
I think I was I was there initially when Identity got there, and then
Yeah.
because I was like I was gonna come upstairs and hop up there and chat with y'all. 'Cause you guys was talking movies. I was like, I'm there for that. Like I wanted to,
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm I'm
yeah,
I'm there for that. I'm there for that too. But you know, so I and let's just say that, the problem has been rectified for good now. Cuz
good.
I can't do all that. The thing about it is that I don't mind having discussions and stuff like that, but if I don't know a lot about the topic, or let's say you're talking about something I really don't know much about, I just listen, you know. Sometimes what people like to do is they'll like to kind of change the subject, or if they don't understand what the person's talking about, they'll make it more about something else, and then that's when the back and forth happens.
Yeah,
So, and then it's a lot of egos that I'm a lady, so I don't do all that. Like, I mean, to a lot of people that might be flattering, but to me it's not.
yeah. I didn't. Like I said, that y'all. When I went to sleep, it was like, oh man, let me. I was on the fence. I was like, I should go upstairs and turn my shit on, because they up there chopping it up and they having a good time. It was 4 of y'all at the time. I'm like, they actually having a good time. And I was like, let me. And then I was like, oh, I'm tired. I wanted to get up this morning early, and so I went to sleep. But it seemed like I said, it seemed like I was. I'd have to go back and watch it. I have to go
Yeah.
back.
Well, and probably if you did come out there, it'd be an even playing field, but you probably would have been like, okay, okay, like, you know,
Yeah, well,
you would have became a mediator too. Like,
I think
everybody would be mediating.
I think once it got a little goofy, I probably would have left, because you know what I'm saying. I'm like,
Yeah.
I really there's been some things in the last couple of days, couple of weeks that's happened, and I'm just like, yo, I gotta like the energy. I gotta move. I gotta guard my energy, because some of the stuff, I'll say, because I don't want to go into it too deep, but with with particular reactions to um somebody passing, like that kind of like put me in a place where I'm like, yeah, I can't. There's certain things I need to be away from, because if we going dark, if we can't, at the very least, if we can't not say anything in a moment where potentially people may be grieving over loss of life, if we are, you know, if in that particular moment, if we're gonna go down the road of making it content, and yeah, I just had to. I was like, all right, I gotta move. I gotta be more intentional about where my energy is gonna be at, and
Yeah, yeah, I feel you on that one. When I definitely had a hard time with that one. You know what I'm saying? I definitely had a hard time dealing with that. And personally, I had personal loss at the round, a little bit before that. So it's kind of, challenging. I think that for me, I don't really want um to, especially when you're like middle age, I really don't want to focus on the negativity of loss of life. I really be wanting it to be like a celebration. I'm in my nostalgia phase right now. That's what I call it, the nostalgia phase. When you're like looking back and you're in awe of all the things and all your accomplishment and the things that you experienced, the positive. So being in that nostalgia stage of my life, right? And then seeing a lot of people kind of and a little older than me, a little younger than me, are leaving, this life or whatever, this so-called life is very, very challenging. But what's hard is that for me is that everyone, and I think I heard Keeper say this, just kind of resonated with me. Everyone has an expiration date. Everyone does. And it's like, what do I want to spend my time doing, right? So right now I'm just in my nostalgia phase, like looking at old movies, watching old cartoons. I seen an old Daffy Duck cartoon that was hilarious. I was like, whoa, I seen this one. you know so
I do that a lot, man, and I'm not ashamed to say, like, I get moved emotionally by going down this road because these things bring me to a time and a place. So I'm definitely on that where I do, and music too. When I'm up here vibing, I'll put on certain music and just and music shows, movies, all of that. I definitely I didn't think about that. That's what yeah, I'll call it that too. I'm in my not my nostalgia.
yeah, there you go. I coined it. Listen, I coined a phrase. We gonna call it that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if you hear it anywhere else, that you know where it came from. They was listening. Okay. All right. That's how it is. But the other thing that I'm kind of over is a lot of the nitpicking. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like just nitpick, like, I think that, you're more of a balanced brother. You balance, you know what I'm saying? Some of us are just set in our ways, but you're like balanced. You're open to all things, and I appreciate you for that. That makes it better because when there's brothers in the space that's really, really very balanced, and you would say I wasn't always this way,
Absolutely.
but you are that way today. Hey, speak. You are that way today, which kind of like is refreshing. I love the balances. LC, he's kind of a balanced brother. I like brothers that are balanced. I just don't like nitpicking. Like, I don't like, people are gonna say things and not gonna be, we're not gonna always be as deep as, other people expect us to be. But, while I'm going through my nostalgia phase and I'm just, taking it easy, I'm an empty nester now, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to be free. Men will call it free balling, but I call it something else.
What you call it? Yeah? Don't just don't just glance over that. What you call it?
Oh, what? They'll glide over that.
Yeah.
My aunt listen. I'm just saying, my I'm going through my Adam and Eve stage, phase where
Okay. I got you. I got you.
before before they ate the apple stage,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
so I mean, I don't want to be taken that serious unless, I want to be serious. I just kind of want to just talk it up, share my ideas, you know, laugh, laugh, and
T Bombay, you have a wrench. You can You can put your link in here.
So and some people are not really at that stage. They want to have like provoking conversation. They want to be polarizing. You know what I mean? It's like
So
not
I'm all
how
like I listen, I'm all for whatever conversation. I think, you know what I'm saying? And the thing, the reason like for me being balanced is still it's just a matter of me like being open to different ideas because I know there's so much like just like there are places that I've never seen before. Speaking of places I've never seen before, Fiona's life is traveling, running marathons and traveling. Um, the same thing with ideas. Like there's been times where I like um have heard something and I'm like, oh, I never, or just a perspective or just some information and I go down a rabbit hole, or sometimes it just open my mind. So part of being balanced is knowing that, in all actuality, I don't know shit and I ain't never really been anywhere. Like when you really think about it. So, you know, if you present if you talking about something you want, or you bring a topic or a point of view, then I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen and go, okay, well, I didn't think of that, or I never, what I'm saying, and that just keeps me. I just want to continue to grow anyway. You know what I'm saying? There may be a person. This is why I don't group people together. I know for conversation purposes, you have to have general conversations, but about people and groups and different political ideologies and religious beliefs. But I've had too many conversations with people where they didn't think that my perspective was my perspective because they looked at me and they said, "Oh, I didn't think that you or
that
I,
you or I
you would listen to this." So I didn't, or the same. So I've had too many conversations with people where I found out things, and I found out, and what I mostly find is, no matter where you go, and who you talk to, we have way more similarities than we have differences, and that's what made me even want to have more conversations with people is the fact that you know we can talk. Again, there are things culturally that me and you could talk about. You know what I'm saying? If it's
right.
culturally, like if somebody said, go get the switch. Everybody knows that when you was a kid, you had to go get, we know what that is. But again, most
But we also know, and not to cut you off, but I did. We also know go get the chocolate too. Like you mean we we
yeah,
know.
because yeah, the projects I grew up in was I can't even say which Spanish it was, but it was because it was Dominican, it was Puerto Rican, it was all, but it was black, it was Spanish, it was white. Um, everybody was there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was just your neighbor. You didn't be like, oh, that's my white neighbor. You just, you know what I'm saying? You learn each other's cultures, you learn holidays, you learn certain things that people did. So there was culturally things. But if you take the kids and you put all your kids, if everybody right now had a 4-year-old and everybody in this chat is 22 people, if you do 22 4-year-olds and you put them in the playground, they just want to play. They're not interested in
Exactly.
our politics. They're not interested in historically where we come from and the things that have shaped our brain. They see another kid and they just
You
want to.
don't want. I like what Speak Easy said. I'm the same way. He's like, I'll cook, but I don't hate anyone on here. We're just competitors, but maybe that's just me because I'm competitive. Yeah, Speak, you're very competitive. Me, like for example, I don't hate anyone. Like I don't have that much. I hate in a person where I wish something bad happens to them, or I'll celebrate their life ending. And that's to me is like a wake up call, because in the when you're in the middle of it, is you're doing what you're doing, and then when something happens, it humanizes you. And I was very surprised to see how less of a human some people can be, And I'm kind of in my I was kind of in shock, you know what I mean, like a shock, a little bit emotional about it, you know what I'm saying, like in my fifis, for real, you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
it's very rare, but I was in my feelings, and have been in quite for at least about maybe a week or and a half. I was kind of in my feelings a little bit because you don't realize how people that you come across in life, you talk to, you get something from them, and then when you realize that how much of how much people respect or had admiration for the person until they're gone. And so you see a lot of respect, a lot of admiration, a lot of just like empathy, and then you see you see a couple people with none. It's crazy to me, like where did we, like, how did we get to that point where we where we becoming so like hateful.
Yeah. And you know, so if you poor, if you middle class, if you rich or extremely wealthy, you have all the money in the world or you don't have any. There's some things that are great equalizer, right? Um, a health, you can have a health incident no matter what, right? Any of that group.
Right.
Um, you can have an accident, right? Through no fault of your own. You just in a car driving and something can happen to you. And, so if you can have health challenges, or you can check out of this world, health related and by accidents. And um, those are the great equalizers for me. So at the end of the day, like that, if nothing else, though, that should be what, for me, that's what connects us. That if somebody, you lose somebody, I don't I don't know too many people that, regardless of what the person was doing or what kind of human being, they had somebody that loved them. Like
Right.
a 5-year old or a 2-year old or a 13-year old who has a great relationship with you as your kid, and maybe they don't know some of the terrible things, or if you did bad things or you said bad things, they might not know any of that. They only have their relationship with you as mom, and they love you. And so, and out of respect for that, just that, out of respect for just that potential relationship, like, what I'm saying, I think just not going there to the negative to me would be worth
Yeah.
it. But that's, that's
Yeah. They're not thinking about that though. They're not thinking about the loved ones or the people that celebrate, that are celebrating the life and what they have to, deal with losing somebody. I talked about that before. I talked about losing somebody, and what it was like watching me lose that person in real time, and everything goes out the window. Like you think about, like I think about stuff like, oh man, the movies that we would watch, and oh man, you know, if he was here, he would have been like doing this and that, whatever. But then you turn around, you hear that person disparaging the one person that you was connected to, that you saw, that was a great person. You know, I think I said that on LC's channel, that I would hate to just be a t-shirt. Like I would want to be more than that to people. I would want to like leave here and people remember something about me that was like really positive too. Like, oh, you should, the way she laughed was just hilarious. She was just so funny to me, and so it made me start thinking about those things.
yeah,
Right? Like I want more people to see me in a positive light than to see me in a negative light. You know what I mean? And so it drowns out those who so I hope that their people are not celebrating that, anything that, any harm that comes to me. But there are just those people. They do those things. I agree with you when you say you just gotta distance yourself from those people. I'm older now, so I ain't got time to be having all that level of negativity to a degree, because it's a downer.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially when you have like relatives that are like, my mom is still here. My aunt, she's like the oldest living person in my family. They're still here. I got cousins. They're some of these people outlive their kids, and it's painful to see somebody who outlives their own offspring. But on the other hand, it's like your offspring didn't get to spend that adult life with their loved one. Like, you know what I mean? That, like, you don't get to spend your adult life your or with your loved one, or your loved one don't get to see a a copy of themselves. Like, I always say my grandson is like another, like, printed out version of me. You know what I mean? Like, oh, look, I'm here again. I'm here again. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at his face, you see your own eyes, but he gets to see me. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I just don't, agree with anybody, um, doing those things. So I agree when you say, and that's what the rise of the boring sector was always about in my mind. For me, the boring sector wasn't really about the shows being boring. The boring sector was about just people wanting to go to a space where they could just interact with people and talk and converse, and be in the chat if they wanted to, and express their feelings from the chat. And if they want to hit the panel, they can express what they want on the panel. They can speak their mind. They can laugh and enjoy themselves. I
Yeah.
don't think it ever was meant to be a place where it become polarizing, toxic, and everybody is popular in the boring sector. You see what I'm saying? Because everybody's popular in the boring sector. So it's like,
Um,
yeah.
yes, I'm a drop down.
Okay.
I'm a
All
knock.
right.
But hold up.
Oh.
No, I just want to appreciate you for stopping in. I know you
Uh,
you worked the whole shift. With DMO. She see you worked the whole shift. Are you HR the boring sector, or DMO is just HR regardless?
Listen, I'm HR now. Okay, I then took over. I'm HR. But I will be going fishing on Sunday.
Hmm.
Um,
So wait a minute. Nah, I'm not gonna
what
do it.
what you mean?
Nah, you going fishing on Sunday, all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Somebody gets banned and Joe's going fishing.
Yeah, I'm going fishing. Well, listen,
Uh,
you
uh,
said on the chat that you were going. The only reason I brought it up was because I heard you say a while ago you were going fishing.
nah, I was if Alan was on the panel or something like that, I probably was messing around with him.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't, no, no. I actually do go like fishing, like,
Yeah, I haven't. I used to go fishing when I was a young kid, and I went fishing one time in the last maybe like 15, 20 years. But nah, I probably was being goofy and talking shit in the chat. So
yeah. That see. You all talk me up. No, but no. I plan on doing some other things today. I thought about doing a live stream sometime soon. I just don't know when I'm going to do it, but um, it's gonna. I want it to be like you said, planned and well thought out.
yeah, for sure. I might come back later if I got something potentially to do later as far as on a live stream, but I got to check that out. But I just wanted to salute you and thank you for stopping up.
All
Appreciate
right.
it
Well, thank
always.
you for having me.
All
All
right.
right.
Have a
Good
good
night. I mean, not good night. Look, good day.
all right.
Bye.
Bye. All right. All right. Yeah, man, I'm gonna get up out of here. I was supposed to be meeting with my homie behind the scenes. Thank y'all for stopping in. Um, Again, y'all always support me. I'm just gonna keep on saying it to you. Y'all get annoyed, but y'all always support me when I do these pop-ups or if I got a plan. So I'm always gonna appreciate that. Y'all have a good day. Peace.
Yeah. Look, invitation sent, sign still delivered, you got it, now welcome in. Engaging with the listener, a space for where you is. As we debate particulars, trying to build a bridge through conversation that's intimate. The mission is thought-provoking with words spoken. Bitter truth, not the sugar-coated, just an openness place on display. Wisdom in the words that he say, a part of just embracing every grade over here. No fear, clear, I'm unafraid. I'm much older, I no longer hold a child ways. Adults in the room, times past for playing games. Grown talk, isn't that the reason why you came? Simple and plain, delivery raw, straight to the chase. Better than before, learning from your yesterdays. Introducing insight, influence, be amazed by a brother of a certain age. Now rock with 'em.